Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I am back and I just wanted to do a chat today because it's 12/21/2020, which is the winter solstice. Um, and there's all kinds of chatter about the Saturn Jupiter conjunction, and it hasn't happened in 800 years. So there was something I wanted to share about um, that in particular, a conversation over text that I had with my good friend Tony, Anthony Pico. He's been an astrologer, well, not as long as I've been alive, but almost. Not to give away his age, but he is chock full of wisdom. And so, like back at the beginning of the month, I sent him a text when I saw an article, and it says the Christmas star to light up December sky for the first time in 800 years. And I said, okay, so what does this mean astrologically speaking? And his response to me was, this is actually a little deceiving. Jupiter and Saturn conjunct roughly every 20 years. However, due to the slight discrepancies of the orbits of each of the planets, they are always a few degrees apart to the north or south. This time, those degrees are closer than they have been in over 800 years. And I said, so this is really happening like every 20 years. He said they may be closer than they have been in 800 years, but they get close every 20 years. What is interesting is the conjunction has occurred in Earth signs for the last couple of hundred years, but this is the first time it is happening in Aquarius in a long time, which is an air sign. Hi, Micah. Hi, Chatterbox. Hi, Devry. Hola, Kay. So he said, usually whoever is elected as president when Saturn and Jupiter are conjunct dies in office. Lincoln, McKinley, FDR, JFK, but Reagan was considered the first one to beat the so-called curse, but even he was the victim of an assassination attempt. This time the conjunction is seen as particularly fortuitous because Jupiter and Saturn conjunct suggests eventual success and careful growth. The fact that they are conjunct in an Aquarius at the beginning of an Aquarian age is a little exciting. And then he said, why don't you ever ask yes or no questions? I consider this particular event happening on December 21st as particularly positive. It is in a way very, very much in mutual alignment with the concepts of the shift. So the shift, the awakening, people becoming more aware, and it's really about alignment of people becoming more one with each other and recognizing that we all have an effect on one another, that we are all interconnected, and that sort of brings together the manifesting idea, right? Serena, I'm not doing psychic readings today. This is just manifesting chat. This is just like when I do my spiritual chats. I haven't done them in so long, and I wanted to get back to doing them. I'm having a different kind of platform with besides just doing readings. But I would love for you to stay and join and see what we can find out. Oh no. So I'll talk about that, Ola K, about the smell and taste loss. But so manifesting, like, this is a great day to manifest. This is a great time to to just the beginning of the year of really focusing what it is you want and how to achieve it, and sort of looking at what our belief systems are that we've had in the past, that we've unknowingly been programmed with, that can help us grow, and how we can get past those blocks in order to create the life that we want. Hi, Rose. Oh, Rose, how have you been feeling? It's so good to see you. You don't come on just to chat anymore. So since I'm doing the paying, so I hope you're doing well. I hope you're in a good space. So Ola K, real quick about your sense of taste and smell. Let's manifest this, right? So I lost my sense of taste and smell back in March, and it came back. It took about a month to really kind of start to get it back. And then my smell was always off for a while, especially with citrus and orange. It had a weird metallic taste to it. So manifesting, I just wrote down my sense of smell came back completely normal. And literally within a week, it started shifting. Like within a couple of days, I started noticing that I can actually smell the citrus smell again. So I know it sounds nuts. Go with me on the nutty part here, right? I talk to dead people. Um, so manifest a change in that. You don't have to be scared of it. You don't have to be afraid of it. Know that it will come back, that those nerve endings will find new connections and regrow. Um, so don't be afraid. We're all going to manifest that for her. So we all will imagine. So if you can't see it as like, oh my God, I can smell again, and can't get that because it's like hard to sometimes get past that disbelief of it, see it as having a conversation, or sometimes it's hard to visualize because it's so big or so whatever, it's hard to visualize what that experience would be like. Visualize having a conversation with somebody. Visualize coming on here and saying like, oh my God, Anna, guess what? My smell came back just like you said it was, and it's 100%, and I have no issues. And be excited about it and be happy about it and live in that, and then just drop it. Just trust that the seed has been planted and it's there. No, I mean, you can put a time forecast. I often don't. So, except for with things that I know that are like, so like my daughter, one of my daughters has an egg allergy, and it's one of the most common allergies, actually more common than the nuts and stuff, but it's also one of the most common to grow out of by the time you're 16. And good. Yes, Rose, good. Okay, so what I did was I just wrote down that she grew out of it and it's fine, and I didn't put a time frame on it. But she had the baked egg challenge just recently, and her blood test, the last time I went in, her blood test was normal, her skin test was normal. So we did a baked egg challenge and she passed it. So she's able to eat baked egg right now. And then in about 6 months, if she still tests okay, then we'll do the scrambled egg challenge. But the allergist was actually surprised because she had an event about less than a year and a half prior to the skin test and blood test coming back normal, where we were at the hospital. And she said also that she's still only 3 years old. She's still very young to have grown out of it. So she was really surprised. So I really believe that because I knew that it was possible for her to grow out of it, that you could manifest that, you could shift that change. Hi, Sherry. So, Ola K, the way you can do that is see yourself writing a message, do an imagination. So you can either write it, or they call it scripting it, right? So write down what you imagine is going to happen. I do writing. I have a Twitter account that's like totally, you wouldn't know it was mine at all, that I just do tweets. and it's private, so no one can see it. I have no followers. I don't follow anyone. It's just a way to throw it out into the universe. How do I bake an egg? Like in a muffin or a cake. So you're getting a bit of the egg. It's cooked at a certain temperature for a certain amount of time, but you're not getting a large amount of the egg protein. You're getting like 1.5 grams at the most. So manifesting is, you manifest all the time. We all manifest all the time. If you think about any time that you've either created negative, or like, oh, I knew that was going to happen, I imagined that happened and it did happen, or even positive stuff where you can feel that you just know, like, something is going to happen and it happens and it comes to fruition. Our fear, our ego-based thoughts get in our way. Our subconscious, what we teach ourselves about, or what we've been taught by our parents, right? So there's money, right? So let's look at money. I wrote down my little dry erase board. What are your blocks? What are some blocks that people have towards money? You have to work really hard to get money. Money doesn't come easily. Money doesn't grow on trees. Literally doesn't grow on trees, but whatever. You have to save. There's always going to be something bad that's going to happen. I hate paying bills. I hate getting when bills come in. But if you think about people who have a good relationship with money, people who are rich, whatever, yeah, we can pay that, no problem. They don't think twice about it. They don't groan and grunt when the bills come in. It's like, okay, just write it, fill it out, and no big deal. You want to look at it like, oh my God, I'm so happy that I can pay these bills. Like, look, I have so much money in here. Even if you don't, the way to shift the process is to ignore what's really happening right now And just know and trust that the money always comes in. Money flows to you easily in all directions. Manifest a lottery. I did one. This was funny because I was like, whatever. And I literally never play the lottery. It's very rare. I wrote down one that was like, I win money every time I get a scratch off. And I think I bought one scratch off since I did that, but I won on it. So it's not about, and it isn't about that I wasn't like, I got excited that I won on it. I didn't win huge. I think I won $40, but I just got excited that I won the $40. Or when you start, manifesting money into your life, get excited about finding the penny, get excited about finding the dollar bill, get excited about somebody giving you a discount on something. Like lately I've noticed people are giving me discounts where I'm like, they're like, oh, here, use this coupon, or, oh, I'll just give you like, I went to exchange a pair of jeans at a store. They'd shipped me completely the wrong pair of jeans. Like they didn't even send me jeans. They sent me a sweater. I went to exchange the jeans and I had gotten them on sale. And so then I just wanted to get a different wash in them. And I said, can I still get them for the 30% off? I said, I would have been in the sale range had they sent me the right thing and on the right time. They ended up shipping my stuff all the way to Florida from Pennsylvania and they said, she goes, oh no, I'll give you the same price as this other one, which the pair that I wanted with a different wash was more expensive. So I just was like, look at the universe is giving me stuff left and right. Like I'm getting things for free. So you have to start recognize where it's coming at. And then you just have to turn this into a belief system. These are the things that happen to me. The universe works in my favor at all times. It always has my back. No, you can focus on a whole bunch of stuff at once. Micah said, should we focus on one goal and then move to another goal or do several goals at the same time? This is a question I always ask. I mean, you're always manifesting different things all the time, everything you're doing. So you can do multiple things at once. I work on healthier belief systems, right? Healthier relationships. I work on patience with my kids. I work on then manifesting clients. I work on manifesting more money. You guys, it's not like I'm rolling in the dough. So let's be honest here, but every year I grow my business. And for the last 3 years, every year my business has grown. This year it's grown exponentially. I always believe my clients come to me through word of mouth. And I always say, like, my clients always go and tell other people about me. And that's how I find my clients. So I do all kinds of stuff. And like my journals are pages and pages and pages, and I'll write down 15 different things. And I just trust that they'll happen. They'll happen whenever they happen. I don't know when they're going to happen or how they're going to happen, but they just happen. And I just assume that they're going to come to me, and I don't worry about the time frame. One thing I want is, like, there's which is strange, but I want to keep moving and it's not strange, whatever. So I want to be a certain weight by the end of the year. And I just decided I'm going to be that weight by the end of the year. And it's only a couple pounds, but it's like, so that I'm continue to move in to that direction that I want. Thank you, Chatterbox. That's so nice of you. Hi, Regine. Thanks for visiting from work. So if you feel like, let's look at belief systems with money. It's that, when you see the stock market go up and down and you see people go, oh, it's always going to go down. And I go, well, it's coming back up. Like my shift is like, it's coming back up. Everything's moving in the right direction. I saw a whole bunch of things about Kilauea erupting. And I was kind of like, people were like, oh, of course, 2020, and I thought, well, hell, why not end the terrible year this way instead of beginning the new year that, with the eruption? And it's just a final cleansing and removing and getting rid of things. Like, this is a good thing. Barring nobody's house is in the way, obviously. Like, I don't want any harm or anything, but I think of it in a different way instead of going, of course you'd throw another one on 2020. Like, I think we're moving in such a great direction, and you can see our healing and our process. The vaccines are coming. They're starting to be delivered. They're starting to be given. Yes, you don't get to spend the holiday, but honestly, you can celebrate a holiday on any day. It's not really about it's not really about the date. I always try to stay in the positive. I can always find the positive in something. And I'll even say, even if it's hard and you're going through it, look for the lesson in it. What can you learn from it? How can you grow? So we look at jobs, right? So when people are trying, they're stuck in kind of a crappy job, or they're getting jobs and they kind of keep falling through. When you're manifesting, say you've written down, I work at a place, I work at a job that has the salary that I need, it has the benefits that I need. You don't even have to be specific about it. It's just enough for me to do great, or you can say this or more. I tend not to be super specific about certain things because I always find the universe does way better than I could imagine. So again, like my I think this year I said I'm going to double what I did, at least double what I did last year. And I haven't added it up again yet, but I'm close to tripling what I made last year. So I don't, and it's, you guys know me, like I'm not out advertising. Clearly, I'm not doing any psychic fairs. I'm not out, I don't go to other people's, like when I type on Twitter or I'm on Instagram, I don't push my stuff like, hey, come check me out. I might comment here and there, but they're like my own personal. It's not about psychic stuff. I just trust the universe is going to bring me clients, and the universe is going to bring me what I need, just by being who I am. So jobs, like I know Devry, you're struggling with your job, right? So it's like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Instead of focusing on when it's going to happen, just know it's happening. And all of these things that seem to be falling apart are really the universe falling together in my favor. All of these things are coming to me, and the perfect job is coming to me, and the perfect apartment is going to come to me. So sometimes you have to be specific, but you can be general. Like, so I think that if you have this belief system, when people say like, oh my God, be careful, you might get in a way you don't want. I don't have that belief system. I trust that everything comes to me in a really perfect, okay way. So I think it's not like I'm getting money through somebody's death, or I'm getting something through, a negative fact. I just trust that it all happens in a perfect way, and the universe takes care of me, and everybody's safe. And I think when your assumption and your belief system is there that you are safe and protected and everything is good, then that's sort of what comes to you. So praying that 2021 is going to be good is different than manifesting. It's asking, like, please let it be okay. Please let it be okay, instead of just knowing. So in the Bible, they say, God says, and I don't even know what verse this is, but it's pray as if it's already been given to you. Ask and you will receive, right? So ask as if you already have it. So God, I'm so glad that 2021 was such a good year for me. Ask it as if it's already happened, right? So it's like having the conversation with God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, as if it's already happened. I'm so glad that 2021 was such a good year for me. My business was successful. I found an inner peace and inner happiness. I found strength. I really decided that, because I think a lot of people don't really like themselves, or feel really uncomfortable with being alone. That's why they're constantly looking for stimulus and gratification outside of themselves, whether it's connections on social media, likes on social media, constantly making plans with other people. I mean, we need to have social interaction, but when people can't be by themselves and they're always having to be busy, why not look for peace within? Why not look for really enjoying your own time, healing old belief systems? I'm so glad I healed all these old belief systems, and I feel stronger and better and more confident. Oh my God, that's hilarious, KK. Yeah, I mean, that's literally how it can happen. It's like all of a sudden something just shows up, and it'll show up in different ways. It's not even about wanting something and just having it show up. It's allowing it for sure, but it's expecting it, knowing it's there, knowing that the possibility is there. Like when I would apply for nursing jobs, they would say, I only had an associate's degree in nursing. I don't have a bachelor's. And I was applying in NICUs and things like that. And it would say bachelor's required or bachelor's preferred. And I was just like, whatever, I'm going to get the job. I'm going to work there. I'm going to have a day shift. Like, and it was hard to find like day shifts that were open. And I had, I think, 3 years of experience as a nurse. So I was like, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do it, and I don't care, and I'm going to get it. And I always got hired. Every single job that I applied for, I was hired and or offered a position. I didn't necessarily take each position, but it wasn't because I just knew. I knew it. I knew it like I knew it. They would hire me. They would like me. They would hire me. That was it. Um, I didn't go in with the expectation that they wouldn't like me or that it would be difficult. That's awesome, Chatterbox. Congratulations. Um, and yeah, and like so there's all kinds of things that you can manifest. It's not just about physical, tangible things. It's about inner peace. Um, we're taught belief systems that about our own intuition, right? So what if you manifest intuition? A lot of times in manifesting circles, you'll see people say, well, psychics aren't real, or they're just tapping into your subconscious. That could be it. I could be tapping into the energetic, what you're manifesting, right? So where's your thought process now? Well, and I'll show you how to shift it. I could be tapping into the current timeline you're on, but I believe in the multiverse theory, right? So you're on different timelines. Or you can be in different timelines and shift to different timelines. But then there's the whole, how am I connecting with your loved ones who have crossed over? So there's multi-layers to it. But if you connect in with your own intuition, the more you become aware of what you're manifesting and the more you become aware of your current thought process. So it becomes like meditation is about being present. You're sort of in a constant state of meditation and being aware and being fully present. So your intuition, your guides can kind of go, hey, watch that. Because little things you create, they may not happen exactly as you create them, but they'll happen if you're open to them happening. They'll happen very quickly. Especially the negative stuff, you'll start to notice. You can manifest someone you have a crush on, for sure. So you see yourself with them. You see yourself in a relationship with them. You see it and you just believe that it's possible. And you don't wonder if you're good enough for them or if you're smart enough for them or pretty enough or funny enough or any of those things. You just know that you are. You take them off a pedestal. You don't believe that they're somehow better than you. They're completely reachable. So for me, Micah said, I have difficulty deciphering my attachment to the target because it's an important thing. How do I forget in order to attract it? So that's where I said, like, for me, my trick is to visualize having a conversation with somebody about it instead of the actual thing. So say it's wanting to manifest $10,000. Instead of because for some people, it's a lot of money and it's like, where's that going to come from? And you worry about the things. Don't worry about it. Just having a conversation with the money just came to me. It was like perfect timing. I got exactly the amount that I needed. And sort of just trust that that's going to happen, or just shift it instead of being like $10,000, be like just under $10,000, like whatever it is, or just like $10,001. Like it was crazy. Like I needed that and I got just over it. Do you have a specific, so I can work on it that way? But that's what I do, is I see it as me having a conversation with somebody rather than being in the moment, because it's too hard for me. So it's a conversation telling somebody about it, about the success that I have, about how well I'm doing, not about manifesting, but just about the thing coming to me. I see we have a friendly visitor, and I swear I'm not kidding. I don't know if I was picking up on the intention of being here, but I literally thought about somebody trolling and the negative thoughts that we had as I was talking about my guides, saying like, hey, be present. My 16-year-old said to me yesterday, I don't need to manifest. I know everything is going to be good in my world. I said, how she How she said, I just know. That's manifesting right there. I don't need to manifest. I know everything is good. I know everything's going well. That's what manifesting is just knowing. So I teach my daughter too. She'll say, everybody's mean to me in Roblox. And I said, well, if you expect them to be that way, then they will be. Those are all the people that you're going to attract. That's how it's going to happen. I've seen on board somebody say, all the guys I ever date or all the guys that are attracted to me I'm not attracted to. And I used to say that too. Or only these kind of people are attracted to me. Well, then that's what you're going to create in your life. So I find people, the people that are attracted to me, I'm attracted to as well. We have a nice connection. My bosses always like me, like just changing the idea around that. And the thing I was talking about, intuition. So if you think about it, when a child falls and they're hurting and the parents, you'll hear this a lot, go, you're fine. You're okay. That's fine. Because they can't deal with them crying. They don't want a huge emotional thing happening. Instead of just hugging them and saying, are you okay? And the change in that is the are you okay starts to teach them how to trust how they feel about a situation and what feels right. So, and when you're manifesting, you'll sort of know if it feels right and if it's in alignment because it just flows. It just feels okay. If it's not, you can learn to twist some of the words like, oh, that's not quite right. It doesn't feel like it's going to catch quite right. How do you manifest a car? So it would say, I found the perfect car. It's completely dependable. It's affordable, low maintenance. So like regular maintenance, right? So oil change, things like that. That's it. I found a car and I'm so excited about it. The universe sent me the perfect car. It's dependable. It's low maintenance, low cost, low insurance. It's the perfect car and it looks great too. That way you don't just get a beater that's low maintenance. Right? That just looks like it's kind of scratched up, but it works. If you want it to look nice, you can get those. Those are easy. That's so easy to do. Changing my negative words to positive to change things in my world. It does. It absolutely makes a huge difference. You're welcome. And just know it. To me, I'm like, that's easy. Why couldn't you do that? There's cars all over the place for sale that are still in great condition. Tons of people have leases that they just got rid of, or I was going to say this is really terrible, but there's going to be cars available. There's going to be cars available. It's not terrible. Hi, Vicky. What are other things I see? So this is one that confuses me, and maybe you guys can figure this out. When people they call them an SP, so a specific person. Now, oftentimes you'll see specific person is about romance, but an SP can be about manifesting the job, the boss you want. Hi, marijuana company, miss you too. So it can be the job you want. It can be the boss you want. It can be a business partner you want, a neighbor, a friend, whatever. SPs can be anything. They don't have to be romantic. What kind of affirmations are you looking for, Lauren? You can absolutely manifest better health for a family member. So at the beginning of this, I mentioned manifesting for my 3-year-old growing out of her egg allergy quicker. Now, the part of that is that I knew it was possible. So there was no doubt in my mind, because it's common to grow out of egg allergies. There was no doubt in my mind to go, oh, well, but so some people, the Eeyore would go, well, maybe it'll happen, but with our luck, right? That's how you manifest terrible things. So I was just like, this is possible. So it's just going to happen. The universe, she just grew out of it. She grew out of it. And it happened very quickly. Hello, David. Mild here today too. And snow is melting as well. A lot of Canadians. Yay. So, so health for your family member. So again, My trick for me is if I can't see the doctor reporting good or them telling me they're happy, or if I have a hard time, if especially if someone's really ill and they're cachectic, which is uh, wasting from disease. Um, if you can't see like their skin being healthy and bright and vibrant, have a picture of them from the past if that helps you imagine it and be like, God, you look so good. I'm so happy. I'm so glad you're feeling better. Don't worry about the details and the timeline because sometimes what happens is you can do timelines if you're like, I want a job by this date. I've seen a lot of people do it and it's fine. But I also think sometimes it can hinder you as you get closer to that date and nothing's happened. You start to think that it's not possible. You start to doubt that it's coming to you. So I always think if you don't think you can get past that doubt, don't put a date. And keep imagining it happening until you can drop it and be okay with it, like not wondering if it's going to happen. Make sure that as you're manifesting those big things that you manifest little things, like someone brought me a free cup of coffee, or I got a discount and wasn't expecting it. Someone complimented me on X, Y, and Z. I don't really go out to get free cups of coffee. So like, I'm in my house all the time. I drink my own coffee. So that's never one that I put, but so I'll put like random compliments or random conversations, or the universe is going to show me and pick an ostrich, or some people say dragon or rainbow, or these things are going to pop up unexpectedly. It's absolutely about conditioning your mind. If you believe it's possible, and I always say this even with psychic stuff, like even with like, if you believe this has power to take away negativity, then this smoky quartz has power to take away negativity. If you believe that the sign of the cross is blessing you somehow, then the sign of the cross is blessing you. Okay, so you're right there, you're saying, Vicki, it never comes. What do I do? Get rid of that it never comes. Just, you're going to sort of feel like the best thing about manifesting is don't tell anybody what you're manifesting. I mean, here, this is okay, but like, if you're, don't even like discuss it, because you sort of like literally have to live in la la land. Like money just comes to me easily. Money flows in, from all directions. Every time I give money out into the world, it comes back to me exponentially. We do that prayer over money at church when we pray over our offerings so that we can pay rent and insurance. we don't have and we say that money comes into us exponentially, and by giving us and helping us pay for rent and pay for electricity and insurance, that the money will come back to you exponentially too. And I always know that when I purchase things, when I'm donating money, that it always comes back to me. I never say that it's not happening. I never say it's not happening. You could say it's not happening yet. I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't come to fruition. It's not quite in my 3D yet, but I know it's coming. Because as you say, it's not happening, then it's not going to happen. You've literally just put the kibosh on it. And it does feel silly at first. You sort of feel like, especially when it's the really big stuff, that you're like, eventually you get to the point, like some of the really big stuff that I'm working on, I've gotten to the point where instead of thinking like, this is silly, it's like, this is happening. Like, I know this is happening. It's like you get to where it feels very normal. And that's sort of like your subconscious doesn't know if it's physically real or if it's just there. And gratitude does play a big part. I think that's the other part of me being like, if you get $1 and you pick up a nickel, then that's the universe giving it to you. Or, like I said, the discount where they were giving me to the price instead of, I was like, oh, I just wanted a 30%. I didn't need it for that much lower. She's like, nope, I'm giving it to you. And I was like, okay, thanks. And I was like, this is another way the universe gives you money, because all money it's paper. It's just an example of energy exchange. no different than someone giving you a discount or someone giving you a trade for goods. Like if I were to do a reading for you and you did some work for me in exchange, it's the same thing. It's just an exchange of energy. So if we get away from the idea of having financial gain being just about the paper thing or just about the numbers going up in our bank account and see it as other ways, get excited about that. That's one way the universe is giving to you. And the like if you give somebody a gift and they're like kind of like, oh, okay. Like it doesn't really make you want to give them more. You're just kind of like, well, they don't really appreciate what they're getting anyway. When you give somebody a gift and they're like, God, thanks, this is so nice, even if it's something small, it's like, I could do more for them. This is easy. That's sort of the way it works. It's very strange, but it is. Yeah, my customers love my company. Business is doing great. I'm getting tons of positive reviews. If you've got Google, like a Google review thing, or what's that, Yelp? um, yeah, and the other thing is like the more freely you can let go of it, the easier it comes back to you too. So I'm like, I actually think like I need to be using my money. I shouldn't be just saving it up and hoarding it, because then the idea of like saving and hoarding sort of promotes the idea of lack. The other thing is worrying about competition when it comes to business. You're like, oh my God, but there's a million other readers now. Like there's tons of people talking about manifesting. There's tons of people doing all this other stuff. There is no such thing as competition. The right people will find you. When somebody says to me like, oh, well, so and so will do my reading for this much money, I'm like, okay, go to them, because then maybe that's who you're supposed to get your reading from. Maybe that they're the perfect person to give you the message. If you get rid of the idea of competition and the idea of lack and whatever it is, we look at love, right? When we're wanting to manifest love, you're like, I want somebody who adores me, who I get along with. There's so many other things, but who's financially stable, who's emotionally mature, whatever. I want to fall in love and be married. Recognize the other ways that love comes to you in your life. Somebody opening a door for you and holding a door for you, you think, that's not really love. It's a form of love. It's on a different level. It's not romantic, but recognize all the ways in which love is there. Also, love yourself. Look in the mirror. Look at how amazing you are. Your body may not be perfect, or this idea of whatever photoshopped crap we're shown, but it got you to where you are. It got you through all of your experiences in life, all of the hardships. That soul cage got your soul to this point. Be grateful for it. Recognize the resiliency that you have. Recognize the ability that you have to love others as well. So not even say thank him as like, thanks for sending me all this money, Dennis. Like, this is awesome. Say it that way. Your loved ones can work in your favor from the other side too, to help you. If you have a hard time imagining this big, vast collective energy helping you, find your loved one that's doing it. See your guardian angel. This is a trick that I do for my daughter at night. She tends to worry a lot. So I said, visualize your guardian angel and give them all your worries. Let them take it away, so you don't need to hold that energy in you, and say like, transmute it, fix it, clear it. Thanks so much. Lauren, what was it you said specifically? Hang on, I want to look at what you wrote. I manifest my business being noticed, but I have doubts every time, so it doesn't work. Okay, so it's your doubts. So like Kay said about like, customers find me out of nowhere. Customers, I have no idea how they come to me. They just come to me. People really like me. The first time that you have it, imagine having a conversation with a customer and them just complimenting you. Get excited about that, because that snowballs, that energy snowballs. Sherry Kirk, change that. I worry about everything. I don't worry about anything. I know that the universe has my back. I know that they're taking care of me. In fact, I actually stress out, and this is the truth. I stress out when I start to worry about something because I'm like, oh, no, no, stop that. Like, just know that it'll be okay. It doesn't mean that I don't ask for validation. Um, that's part of being human, right? So as you grow into this spiritual being and understanding there's a, you know, this is just an avatar, you still have to have your human experience. You're not going to be just like a monk on the street, or in a monastery being Zen all the time. Even they aren't Zen all the time. And trust that everything happens in the perfect timing. That's something I also know. Like, I don't, even though I get restless sometimes, what I finally learned about the growth of my own business, Lauren, was that it will happen perfectly at the perfect time when I'm perfectly ready for it. My clients find me at the perfect time. And I used to, when a client would be like, oh, can I have a reading? And I would like start to get really nervous and bend over backwards if they didn't respond right away. And now I'll have people that come back months later. They're like, oh, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, you are getting the reading at the perfect time that you're supposed to. Just trust that. I just changed my mindset about it. Like, I don't need to get my clients. They just come to me. And everybody finds me at the perfect time. My business is successful. It grows at the perfect rate. It's constantly growing. It's always growing. I'm always attracting new clients. I get great word of mouth business. That's how I do it. Even before I do these live things, I set an intention that the perfect people that need to be here and hear this information are here at the perfect time. And then I just trusted. Even yesterday, what was funny, early in the day, I was like, this is going to be a great night. We're going to make a lot of money. We're going to do really great for, and a lot of people are going to show up. And then I had emailed KK the list that I had so far as of 5:30. And I had told her, like, there was no one, my PayPal wasn't buzzing. Like, I wasn't getting notifications on my phone. I thought no one was going to show up. And I thought, ugh. And then I opened up my PayPal and there's a huge list. And last night, I think we did the best that I've done since I've been doing the 100%. And I had 24 people on, and I haven't had 24 people on in a long time, since I started charging. So throw it out there and see what happens. The worst that happens is you start from where you're at, but that's not what's going to happen. The other thing is, Lauren, to shift it. It's like, I have no doubts about my success. I am a successful entrepreneur. I have a successful business. And imagine yourself, how people, your family, when you start a business, they're like, oh, okay. Well, some of you have great supportive families, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes your friends are like, oh, okay. Thanks, KK. So what you have to do is imagine telling them that they're eating crow and be like, oh my God, my business grew so much more than I thought it would in the first year. I don't think it's that, like, and I'm asking my guides, I'm like, I feel like for you, Lauren, it's not that it's not possible for it to grow. It's just that simple, like, belief in yourself. You wouldn't have gotten the inspiration to do what you're doing if it wasn't meant for you to do it. Oh, thank you, Rose. That's really sweet. I actually have been thinking about you and wondered how you were doing. This was probably like last week. I thought, oh, I wonder how she's doing. So see, energetically, we do connect. There is something more to the universe and what it brings you. What's funny is when I'm walking around, when I get a moment by myself, if I actually get to go run errands by myself, I usually take one child with me because I feel bad that they're always at home. I think about, like things that I could manifest really quickly and easily. And one day I was out and it was like someone complimenting my eyes. But it wasn't even in that moment, or that I wasn't even thinking about it happening. And literally the next door I walked into, the person who rang me up complimented my eyes. It just happens. Little things can happen. And once the little things can happen, you start to recognize the big things. And if you can look back at all of the times, and I said this with intuition too, look back at all the times where you knew something terrible was going to happen, or you knew something like you knew something great was going to happen. Those are manifestations. Don't apologize for not saying hi. That's okay. I sometimes do that too. So you said, what if sometimes I envision everything the opposite happens? Maybe you've created that belief system that when I see something, the opposite will happen. So you can either say, then I just visualize whatever I don't want to happen and then it happens, or I'm shifting that belief system that every time exactly what I visualize happens. Victoria, it's not a crazy question. There's famous people that get attracted at all times. So you have to, first of all, you have to believe it's real. So Wayne Dyer tells this story, or told this story, of a 5'4" guy saying, "Oh, well, if you can manifest anything in your life, can I manifest to be a football player?" And he said, "You have to believe it's possible." So if at 5'4" you don't think that you can get out there and be a linebacker, then, and I don't know a lot of the different positions besides that and like quarterback, so whatever. I know running back, but I don't know what they do. So if you don't think that you can be a 5'4" linebacker, because I know they have to be big, right? Then that's never going to happen for you. So if you think that a famous person is somehow way above you, and that they, like, if you put them on a pedestal, then you're not going to ever attract them in your life. Or if you believe, well, they live on the East Coast and I live on the West Coast, so there's no way it's going to happen, or they have whatever, then you're never going to believe it's happened. Or some people believe, like, well, they're really rich and I'm not, so it's not going to happen. If you have that belief system, then it won't happen. Famous people are no different than you or I, though. They just have a job that puts them out in front of people, sorry. So yeah, it's totally possible. I believe you can absolutely manifest better mental health. Now, I'm not saying negate going to therapy or doing the medication and stuff, but maybe you manifest lowering your doses to start, and not on your own, but I become healthier. I start having healthier interactions. I no longer need this medication. And it doesn't mean, again, do not wean yourself off of that, because there are side effects to medications. But I do believe that there are things that are possible. I believe anything's possible. But do that under the care of a doctor if it comes to medication and things like that. But yeah, I think things are curable. Doctors will tell you all the time people have been cured and they have no clue how, especially with cancer and things like that. So it's possible. I'm not doing readings on the Bitcoin market, but if you want to believe that it's, like, you can create that you're successful with it, even if the market does terribly, you can create that you're successful with it. But I don't want to do readings today. Dan, that's funny. My manifestation takes hard work, but I think I feel like it. So some people have that belief system, like you don't deserve something unless it's hard for you to get it. I always think people look at me and think that certain things come to me easily. Certain things do come to me easily, but I'm also patient enough to wait for them to come to me when they're supposed to come to me. Um, you also have to mute people who always throw negative obstacles in front of you. Absolutely. Smile, say thank you, and then tell yourself they are crazy. Tell you're crazy, or like, I saw somebody once say, not in my world. And I was talking with somebody yesterday we were kind of talking about the vaccine and everything else. And now I do intuitively believe it's safe. I know that you're going to occasionally have the random adverse reaction because everybody's body is differently, but on the whole, it's safe. Um, and this person was kind of talking about more of a negative downtrodden. And I said basically, like, I stopped paying attention to the news lately. I only find the positive. I only see the positive, and I trust that the universe is finally finding balance and healing towards things. And we're moving in the direction of being a healthier society and a more loving society and a more um, accepting society, and we incorporate everybody and we don't ostracize people. So I've sort of moved into that, and I started seeing that happening a while ago, but I've sort of just shifted my mindset into that as well. Um, the people that are negative, I don't talk about my manifesting with them. I don't talk about my goals. I don't, the people who seem, I just, I'm polite, but I don't spend too much time and energy on them. You're welcome, Lauren. Thank you. I think you guys are amazing. That's why I do this. It's just to help people. And I feel like I've really attracted a really nice group of people. So you found me on purpose. See, the universe wanted you to be here to shift your thought process, Sherry. Yeah, the energy vampires. That's the other thing is, like, I grew up with belief systems that I was supposed to always help and always tolerate and always accept other people's behaviors, and like pretty codependent. And it's not my job to make other people happy. So even in my spiritual thing, I don't feel like, oh, I have to help and heal everybody. I just think, I heard this once too, and I thought it was perfect. It's like, well, if God's willing to let them sit and stew in their shit, why is it my responsibility to make it better? So if you want help, you want to learn to grow, I'm here to help you. But otherwise, because I'm on my own journey to growing and healing. But know that it's not your responsibility as a spiritual being to heal other people. And you can aid them and help them and give them the tools, but on your own path to manifesting, it doesn't have to be hard. So if you create those belief systems, then it will be harder. Earning money doesn't have to be hard. It can come to you easily. It can be gifted to you. Oh, who knows? My phone does weird things sometimes too. Someone was saying that, who is it? Linda G, the Comanche psychic, is that what it is? I don't know. She has a big following she does a lot of political reading. She said the other day, I noticed on Twitter, she said something about her live chat wasn't working. So there could be something funky with that. A nurse just died for taking COVID-19 vaccine, but it doesn't look normal to see a nurse fall on live TV. But you don't know. So you don't know with the live vaccine yet, Linda G. You don't know with the live vaccine. First of all, it's not a live vaccine. None of the vaccines out are live. But it was live TV. You don't know what her health history is. You don't know what is going on there. So I know in the UK, they had some adverse reactions, and they said if you've ever had any kind of severe anaphylactic reaction or any severe allergy, not to take it. So again, how many thousands of vaccines have been given out? There's something else going on. You just don't know what it is. Because you believe if you're afraid of it, you attract it faster. That used to, like, in my past life, just kidding. Like, in the past, I used to be afraid that if I thought of something, especially when I was learning law of attraction, if I had a negative thought, immediately it was gone. And then I just decided that those thoughts were not as strong and powerful as my positive thoughts. So they take longer to get to me. And so I can transmute them and put the kibosh on them quicker. So if you have the belief system that it's stronger and more powerful and comes to you quicker, then it does. And it is that simple. Oh, thank you, spiritual seeker. That's my intention, is to help, to teach, to help you not feel, because it's crappy to feel alone, and feel helpless or feel lost or scared. And I've been in those spots where even with my spiritual connections, that because I was taught that it's from a place of fear, fear of sin, fear of death, fear of going to hell, if I'm not doing it right, or if I'm this kind of person. And that's the worst place to be in, because God is not any of that. How to manifest your father from he just gave it to me. It was like so out of the ordinary. And so I just would have never expected. My father just gave me $100. And he just like said he felt like being generous. He just wanted to help out. He could see I was struggling and he just wanted to help it, and just believe that it happens. If you go on manifesting boards, there's all kinds of stories of success of people saying, I had a friend who wasn't very supportive. I read this one this morning. I wasn't very supportive of my relationship with my ex, and he's now my SP, and I want him back. And I had I imagined, I set the intention before I did it that this friend would be supportive. And she said, and this person was supportive. So it's like, you have this idea that he's a penny pincher and he won't give up the money. So he's not giving up the money. Decide he's going to give you the money. He just felt generous. Thank you. I honestly, I'll sit around, I'll be watching videos, and my kids are like, what are you watching? I'm like, videos on manifesting. It's what I enjoy. It's like, where can I find the someone's going to tell me how it is, what it is that I'm blocking myself, the little twist that I need to have. I always bring positive things into me. One thing I always say is, I'm divinely connected to the universe. I hear things, I get information completely clearly, and I'm able to pass those messages on to help others. My gifts are used to help others to grow in their own connections, to feel more confident in their own intuition. Those are all things that I manifest. Guilt is terrible. I can't tell you, when I first came out of the psychic closet, it was like, you should pray about that. When I came to New York as a travel nurse, I finally felt comfortable going to the New Age section to figure out what I believe, spiritually speaking, that wasn't Christian, because I felt no one here is going to be praying for my soul if they see me in this section. It literally felt like taboo to me. I just was like, oh my God. And here's the other thing. The people that I know that are really like that are Christians that I can talk to about this, they're totally like, yeah, I've seen people in the church prophesy, and I've seen it happen this way. So my coach, very into church, very devout, but he's like, yeah, I see what you have. You have that. He believes it's possible. So there's people that are in the church that get that there's something bigger. Those are the people that I think should be leading in churches. Sometimes manifesting does happen fast. And when does it happen fast? It happens fast when you let it go, when you stop feeling the pressure that it has to be there. Yeah. So when you do this intuition stuff, even when you do the manifesting stuff, listen, I used to do it, and on very little level, I'd be like, not when I understood what manifesting was or law of attraction was, I'd say, well, I pray for God to send me a parking space. I pray for all these little things. And someone's like, well, isn't that selfish? I'm like, no. If your kid came to your door and said, hey, mom, can you give me a ride? Or can you get me Parker a little bit closer because the weather's kind of yucky and I don't want to have to deal with it. You wouldn't be like, no, suck it up. That's selfish. Other people need it. You'd be like, yeah, of course. No problem. That's sort of how the universe is. They just want to give you what you need, what's going to make it easier, what you feel like would help you on your journey, or would make your journey brighter or more rich, and they're happy to do it. So if you just detach from it as being, it's selfish for me to ask for money, it's selfish for me to have things come easily for me. If you detach from that idea and just recognize, well, why as a spiritual person should I be poor? Why should I have to like just like slog and give and not have something come back to me? Why is my gift any different than someone's ability to sing or someone's ability to be an amazing engineer? Like we're all given different gifts. Thank you, Micah. I appreciate it. I hope that I inspire others, even if it's not to be like a psychic medium. What if it's just to live a more spiritually minded life? And it doesn't, again, spiritually minded doesn't mean I'm a doormat for everybody. It just means I recognize that my energy does affect other people. And again, it's not being a doormat and laying everything out. You have to have boundaries, you have to have balance. Um, I love all things spiritual, but I also like going to concerts and, um, gluttony. Like I find balance. It's not all about, we're supposed to have a human experience and like all those people that are super, super spiritual and only like that's all they are, they're sort of out there. We'll probably wrap this up soon because I think I have to go get homework and encourage my children to sing online, which one of my daughters is like not, she even hates pictures. She's so introverted and she's gonna have to sing for her music class. It's like the worst. So I don't know. Does anybody have any specific areas they want me to help you with affirmations, or anybody else wants to help with affirmations in here? This is a group effort. You guys are all wonderful beings. KK is awesome. So how about instead of saying 2020 was a nightmare year, why don't you just look at what you like. It was hard for sure, but how did you grow? Find the silver lining. How did you grow? How did things, even on in a personal level, how did you grow? Manifest that she loves singing. I should. It's funny, even on my personal level, I'm like, oh, I should just manifest that. Like eventually I'm like, oh yeah, manifest that. Like, so I, manifest that she's doing better in school and like adjusting better. And that she easily gets it done and she enjoys it. Devery, what do you need help with? Okay, so I've got money. So 2020 was an amazing year, as if you're already looking back at it. It really like was such a difference from 2021 or from 2020. The other feeling it's just like 2021, honestly, is just energetically a totally different ball game than 2020. It's still a little hard at the beginning of the year, but it's just such a different ball game. Money affirmations. So money comes to me easily. I'm so happy that I can always pay my bills easily. And when my bills come in, I no longer feel terrible about them. I'm so excited because I know I have the money that's there. Money comes to me in all different directions. The universe is always blessing me with money. I know that when I'm sending money out, that it comes back to me tenfold. Money flows from all directions, just comes in easily. My bank account is larger than I've ever seen it before. I'm able to save easier. My savings account is growing exponentially. If you're looking at like stocks, I'm easily able to buy stocks. My stocks are splitting. They're doing so well. Oh, my husband is doing okay. He manifests his own bunch of stuff. My family is doing well. And I'm excited because I know that my mom is going to be in group 1C for the immunization, and then she'll be able to come visit. We miss her. I haven't seen her in a year. It'll be on January 2nd, it'll be a year. That was the last time she flew out of here, and she was supposed to come in March, and it didn't happen. So on the positive side, she has a whole bunch of money with the airlines that she didn't get charged for. So she's got money for the ticket easily. So money, do you want any more money ones, spiritual seeker? extra money comes to me. People just giving me money. I get discounts for everything everywhere I go. I get free things. Um, I think money and things come to me easily. Devery, what do you need help with? And I hope you're doing well. And I just keep being healthy and staying in a healthy place. Miss Rose. Yes. Okay, I'll be out in just a minute. All right. Love you. My 10-year-old, that's my calling. It's time to go. So, Devery, real quick, what do you want help with? That was so weird. It felt like time just stopped. You'll email me. Well, I'd like to do it on here because I'd like it to be live for helping others too. Because, I've said this before that stuff crosses over because maybe somebody else needs that. So how about with a job? The other thing is like, I think with you were saying the jobs kept falling through and then you sort of get stuck on them falling through. Trust that they're falling through so the right one comes to me. That job didn't happen because the universe is making way for new opportunities and better opportunities to come to me. You're welcome, spiritual seeker. Oh, that's funny, Rose. Yeah, I pay my taxes easily, or I got a tax break that I wasn't even expecting. Came back to me and I wasn't even expecting it. Yeah, I pay my taxes. It means I'm earning more money, right? The live it'll upload whenever I'm done, and then you can write it all down. It's really just shifting the way you look at it. So Devery, like, let's look at jobs. So so it helps you, like, instead of going, oh, see, nothing ever works out, you go, oh, see, everything's like, that's kind of falling away so that it makes room for the things that are positive in my life. Friendships fall away that I no longer need, that I have grown apart from. And then you're not feeling so depressed about like, what's wrong with me that I can't keep, I have a hard time with relationships, because I thought that for a long time, like, what's wrong with me that I feel like, it was really just vibrationally things weren't working out. I'm glad you found me too today, Sherry. Have a great day, Sherry. What do I think about the afterlife? I think there is one. I think, obviously I talk to dead people, right? So, I think there's a collective energy. I don't know if it's necessarily, I've seen different ideas, but I also think we sort of create our own idea of what it is. But I feel like the colors are more vibrant. And, the manifesting everything's easier. There's no sadness. There's still healing that happens over there and lessons that we learn and growth that we make. It's just a different plane of existence. All right. So, Devery, what the job stuff. So it's like, it's all just happening. Everything is working in my favor. Even if I can't see it right now, the universe is working in my favor. So that sort of helps you get past the sad part of it and feeling like, oh, it's not working. Even if I can't see it right now, I know the universe is working in my favor. Even if it's not in my 3D right now, the universe is working in my favor. It's on its way. Start looking for the signs of things being similar to it. So like the job you want, you start hearing somebody talk about it. You start that kind of stuff, that it comes to you that way, to see the validation. So I have to go. My children are hollering now. I can hear one of them, my 3-year-old's waking up from her nap. So I have to go. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. It's Christmas or holiday season, whatever you celebrate. I think there's Kwanzaa, there's Diwali past, Hanukkah. There's a lot of them actually, I think right now. So happy holidays. May the lights and miracles be blessed upon your life. Manifest, manifest, manifest. Take 10 minutes today. Take 10 minutes every day. Wake up in the morning. I am healthy. I'm wealthy. I'm wise. I am young. I am motivated to do whatever it is I need to do, to get out of bed, to get dressed. I am motivated to be successful. I enjoy my success. Success is heading in my direction. I am successful. I am is a very powerful word. So remember, whatever you have that say that follows I am is. So if you say, I am scared, I am fearful, things never work in my favor, those are all very powerful things. Change those, shift those beliefs. I will see you guys on Sunday. I will be back for another live reading. Let me know if you want to do more live sessions, what topics you want to talk about. If you want to do another live manifesting, come with ideas that you want me to help you work on. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Happy Monday. Happy 21st. Happy manifesting.